We start right off with all 4 Japanese teams in position before sparking up that magic, making all the ants come flying out like fat running to their phone the second they see you can use Klarna on DoorDash. So now Choi, aka the ultimate weapon, get a chance to warm up. Literally. Loading up the flames, just incinerating them. Except these are not normal ants, they all off that super soldier serum, making Choi have no choice but to load up the sun and send it beaming into him, putting a Dave Blunt size hole in the island, cooking them right then and there like we at a cookout. As we go down to see Team Charlie down here having a blast, just making light work out of them. And I know they S ranks, but they been making it seem like these ants was finna be the 2017 Warriors or something. So maybe this ain't finna be that bad. Bro back here swinging his sword like he playing Fruit Ninja. They are not worried. So instead, we go check on the Korean S ranks who made it inside, and we get to see more Choi flexing as he first makes a literal fire cage over the cave like he Doflamingo, and then spawning in about 50 balls of fire, blasting them each into tunnels to find the deepest one. Shout out to Yano. But you know, while they out here in a literal war, we got Mr. Sung back here just doing push-ups in the park like it's a regular day. Luckily, we got 15 S ranks to carry though, so we don't need them anyway. As we see, they found mad eggs in the chamber, like Lily Phillips was down here recording a vid or something, until we see this fat one on the very top that's already been cracked open. Somebody got an amount of protein that I can't even comprehend. All they gotta start doing now is dumping their head in ice water and they living life. And speaking of living life, we go back outside to Team Charlie, where Kenzo done got a nice chunk of his shoulder leaking like he just got a hickey from Dracula. But luckily, Shimizu is a healer and she do not take money as payment, meaning we'd work great together. But before that, another horde of ants come flying in, meaning it's time to get back to work. Except bro went straight for the head. No talking, no foreplay, no nothing. Had her head rolling on the ground like a tumbleweed. But then we see them just getting played with as something is running around them doing the iconic 10-10 technique before it blitzes in as Kenzo loads up and gets that head snatched. Jumping so fast his body still think he about to throw the punch. Only thing he fighting now is demons down there with Juice WRLD. But now bro tries to dip before getting hot down by the last member of Team Charlie as he raises up his sword trying to samurai slice that like button, but instead he gets that neck sliced instead, airballing the swing and gets put in the ground, social distancing from the rest of his body. Bro still think it's 2020. Damn. But that puts us 3 S ranks down with only 12 to go. As we go back to the group inside where Cha Hae-in just floating over before landing right in this man's face, sitting there holding a pose just to charge the ore right quick until she lands on the sword and goes right and get down, splitting bro in half like the bill on a first date. Not by me though. I'm a gentleman. As we see Bait start to look through the caves where he sees thousands of ants, eggs, and even the queen herself surrounded by even more ants, as they just stand there waiting for the fade. But before they can get that, we check back outside to see Team Delta checking on Team Charlie. But little do they know, there isn't a Team Charlie anymore. And realizing this, bro starts tweaking, loading in mad ice looking like Todoroki vs Deku, until we see an ant speed past, posing in front of the ice for a pick right quick before it just shatters away. We can guess how that went, leading us to go back inside as they done pulled up on the queen and her army of ants, meaning it's time for the main event. For now, making Mom walk up, hitting a crazy growth spurt before bearing down his shield as the ants go walking, or maybe running, until they start getting grilled by Choi, who still gotta flex the drip right quick. Like, calm down, bro. We see the rings and the dragon. We get it. But even then, he loads up again and straight annihilates lines of ants as he looks into the flames like he the king of hell himself. Except all that was not enough as more come running through the fire, making Bake realize he does not have to hold back anymore as he goes into the full magic beast form looking like a Gear 5 lion as he goes leaping in, grabbing 2 of them and smashing them into a wall, squirting ant juice everywhere, even almost getting it on my girl Cha Hae-in, meaning he was this close to having problems with me, and I promise he don't want that. And even though it's nigga dying that's never died before, a news station back in Korea is still pressuring this cameraman to get a closer look when the only thing he would have got a closer look to is the Michael Jackson concert. And speaking of closer looks, the ants are over here jumping Mom, somehow not making it past his shield before he just starts smacking them like they a fat ass. As we see Cowboy Hawkeye back here loading up and start spamming arrows into the cave, not caring who he hit. He just like, fuck it, I know it's some ants down there somewhere. As we see Cha Hae-in putting in about the most work out of everybody, spamming that square button, getting more bodies than the rapper's baby mama. Until finally, it comes down to the queen, who starts pressing Mom, but it gives an opening for Hawkeye to go running by, jumping up and raining down back shots like he doing some acupuncture, before Bait goes running in just shadow boxing, making her look down like,
Is this nigga serious?
Before deciding it's her turn, as she cocks back that neck and starts blasting her hot ass breath, literally cooking Ma and Bake like she done threw him in the smoker, until Byung just heals him right back up like nothing happened, until Choi starts loading up and blasting and attacking to her neck, looking like it's about the size of an orange, bro. No way he thought that was gonna work. Until we see him stretch out, pause, and that shit engulfs her in flames, cooking her up good. Got her looking like we finna have fried ant for dinner, until she just blasted all the way with the roar of pure oil. And that's definitely all the roar did. Definitely didn't call the rest of the ants inside. But even then, they still blasting her, making her get mad and try to smush her. But that lets her get caught, meaning it's time for the final act from the GOAT herself, as Cha comes speeding in, going around and tearing them legs up, trying to make sure she never walk again. Shout out God. As it eventually puts her on the ground, letting Cha go flying into the air, flexing her eyes, trying to make me act up, till she comes down with a beautiful slash, before landing on the ground looking exhausted. Except we see the queen look over at her, as she's definitely lacking, not even looking the right way, meaning it might just be over. Until that shit falls off, letting her look back at her victim and this mountain of an ant laid out on the ground, headless, like me on a Friday night, sending everyone back home into a celebration, seeing that it's finally over after 4 tries trying to exterminate these ants. Going to kill it would never. Except instead of it being over, we see all the ants come flying back to the cave as the hunters in here just gathered around socializing like they back at home or something. Like, bruh, leave! Y'all got the whole helicopter ride to talk. Ain't nothing y'all finna say that important. As you see the ants come busting through the cage, but little did they know, that's the least of their worries. As from in the shadows is a sinister aura, leaving them frozen, before we see one ant come walking into the light, just staring at them and flexing his orb that was so crazy it sends Cha Hae-in to her knees. Bro really trying to get me mad, as he starts walking them down, going right past Ma and obliterating him. Except turns out bro's aura alone had bro feeling like that. To be honest, I dead ass thought bro got the Two-Face treatment when I first saw this. I thought it was over. But instead, the ant walks right past just to check on his mom and just look at him. Absolutely heartbroken. You can tell bro really cared about her. Cared about her so much, Ashley, that he just started devouring her. Got her leaking crazy.
Yeah, that brother's starving.
Until he finishes and looks back. This cannot be a good sign, as he blitzes behind Cha Hae-in, hitting her with a mean backhand. Got her looking like a parenthesis and sent her flying and booming into a wall. Had her up here spinning like a Beyblade. But being just like me, Ma sees this and turns up, spinning around and getting his shield and arm mutilated. But bro got the pain tolerance of a crackhead, so he just turned around again, getting his other arm grabbed and ripped off, leaving his big ass standing here squirting out ketchup like it's that time of the month. And Beru just down here as nonchalant as ever, looking just like me. But now Bake charges in and gets like 3 X marks to spot on his chest, even cutting half of his 6-pack, reminding him that working out shit can't save you, leaving Choi no choice but to start loading up. Except in the words of Sonic, you're too slow, buddy, as he just gets sliced. Then stands here just squirting out, looking like a Miss B Nasty, leaving Hawkeye to blast an arrow. But come on now. Nobody thought that shit was gonna work. As it just gets caught before snapping it and blitzing over, connecting a no-look punch, thinking he Magic Johnson. Except he must hate this as he transmissions back to him, ready to hit him with a combo, until out of nowhere, Ma pops up, sending him sliding back. And he looking as good as new, like he just went and popped the sensu beam. As we see Byung back here still healing while he camouflaged, not taking no chances of getting caught up in this. Leaving Ma over here putting on the airball and clinic like LeBron at the free throw line. Until Beru grabs his ankle and then picks up and slams his big ass face first into the ground. Before we see the Hulk inspiration kick in as he starts spazzing, knocking the soul out of this man. Shout out Ash. Before Beru turns around, beaming in, and Byung starts coughing up ketchup as we see a whole hand through his stomach, inducting him into the Donut Hall of Fame, until Beru just swallows this man's head, major pause, leaving us 3 people down, and with evolved Kiba as our last hope, we might as well give up now. Except he rushes in just to catch Byung's lifeless body before getting instantly pressed and put into a cane chokehold, as we find out this demon can even talk. And not no conversation talk either. He come out the womb saying,
"And I mean this from the bottom of my heart, y'all are trash."
Where is somebody who can actually box? Leaving me a little nervous that he might be thinking about me as he transitions away to go and find him. Except instead of pulling up on me, he comes speeding into Team Alpha. But Goto blocks as this poor guy here joins the Headless Club. What a shame. But Goto just stands there as calm as ever, all while Beru flying around him having the time of his life. But honestly, Goto was hanging with Jinwoo earlier, so maybe he'll be alright, as he tells his partner to leave so he can run the ones, leaving us with the face off. With Beru flexing that aura until before you know it, that sword cracks, which can only mean one thing. So we end up going back into the cave where everybody just magically recovered, except Cha Hae-in, who over here getting a piggyback ride, as Choi tries to solo this whole army of ants, until we see out of nowhere a shadow stretching out into soldiers, forming a wall in front of him, and we see none other than Jinwoo posted up, leaving us with one word: Kokon. Before we see Egress, Tank, and Iron all pulling up catching bodies, until Tusk barbecues the rest because, ladies and gentlemen, the cavalry has arrived. And you can tell they been hanging with Jinwoo too much, because why are shadows aura farming, man? And speaking of, the man himself comes walking up just as calm as ever. Bro really do be waiting till everybody get clapped for a little bit, just so he can get the dramatic pull up. It's crazy, but I can respect it.
ごめん。俺は今、お前のために怒ってない。誰も憎んじゃいない。今はただただ、この世界が心地いい。天上天下、唯我独尊。常識。
And so he posts up right in front of the gang, getting the pick right quick before telling them to get to work. And you think they clocked into a 9 to 5 the way they was working. But while that's happening, he goes to heal up the S ranks, and everybody except Cha Hae-in is able to recover, leaving them with no choice but to say they gotta escape the cave. But the ants just keep coming. So instead, how about we go check on Goto? Oh. Alright then. But hold on. If Goto's already gone, then that means... And bro is pissed, telling us there was not no king outside. Bro got one shot like every other side character so far. So let me ask you this again. Where is your king? And with such an introduction, the king was not wasting that chance, as he starts to JoJo's walk up and comes face to face with Beru, the king of the ants, giving us one of the toughest face-offs I done ever seen in my life. They really going aura for aura right now. Somebody tell Jason Tatum to take notes. Shit was so crazy, he was even able to fix the camera, letting literally everybody in at least Korea be able to peep too. And the way Gun-hee is hyped, you think bro knew how Jinwoo fought. Bro deadass could be doing all this just to catch the same no head treatment like everybody else so far, for all they know. And so then, out of pure disrespect, Beru balls up his fist and rocks his shit, sending a shockwave and dust through the whole cave. And already everybody done lost hope. Really do only mess with you when you up. But the real ones all know that was not gonna be enough, as we see Jinwoo just standing there looking like nothing happened. And it's at this point where Beru should have put that pride aside and got up out of there. But before he can, Jinwoo starts to load up before cocking back and rocking his shit crazy. Had this man leaning back, froze, hitting the fent lean. Blood ain't moved in 40 minutes. Until he snaps back forward, leaving them ribs wide open for a clean hook. Then he ate like some Thanksgiving leftovers before he balls up his fist again and smacks this man. Except Jinwoo eats that joint too, coming back again, and they just start going blow for blow like a Bonnie Blue vid. Until we see Jinwoo hit a weave, then coming back straight to the gut, sending this absolutely flying back, looking like he finna go all the way back to the dark continent where he came from. Except as soon as he lands, we see Jinwoo already here looking like a demon, waiting for his prey to ready back up. Like, I'ma be honest, bro, no way you see somebody looking at you like this and you still wanna keep fighting. And if that's the case, your ass needs to be in Arkham Asylum. But of course, Beru takes that jump personally and goes flying in, making them clash punches. Until we see Jinwoo squat down, hitting a crazy load up like he about to do his ultimate, before coming back up with a mean right, making bro look backwards at a 120-degree angle, probably popping out like 3 vertebrae. Until out of nowhere, he shoots this thing out of his mouth that slices right on Jinwoo's face. And that heart thumps as it starts to spread and making bro drop to his knee. And no, he does not want to marry you, as we find out bro done got hit with the weakest move in anime. I'm sorry, but poison as an attack is some of the most weak, plot armor garbage shit you can do. And the fact this nigga starts walking up like it's tough because he injected some Magic Johnson DNA is disgusting, bruh. You are not like that. We all saw you getting pieced up like a puzzle 13 seconds ago. But turns out, now he should be paralyzed. And apparently, it was an AoE attack because all the other S-rank hunters standing back here frozen too. They might as well have took their ass home if they wasn't finna do nothing. So Beru coughs back, coming down with a punch, which I don't know why he think that jump would work when all his punches from earlier did a combined 0.73% damage. As we go in to see Jinwoo holding bro's wrist, which in my eyes is a callback to the S-rank sparring match where if you grab their wrist, you were signaling that this shit is over. As he pulls Beru into a beautiful punch to the diaphragm, sending his ass booming into the wall. Let's fucking go, bro. Ain't no way my dog was going out to some weak ass poison, man. I was not letting that shit slide. As we see the system done cleared out his system like some leftover Taco Bell, until he goes leaping up, spinning crazy, coming down with a wild ass kick, connected with straight ground, giving us Beru's first dodge of the fight. Everybody clap it up for this boy. But realizing that at this rate, bro do not stand a chance, he decide he got no choice but to level up, giving us a close-up as he starts evolving into his final form. And man, never in my life do I think I've ever noticed this many impact frames in the transformation. Them animators really put their heart and soul into this. Shout out to them, man. As we get the full reveal of the evolved King of the Ends. And this gives Jinwoo no choice but to pull out them S-rank daggers as yet again, we get a face-off. Till Jinwoo transmissions booming right into Beru, who just sends him back to the ground, pressing him, making me sit up even more in my seat. He moving kinda different. As they both start going crazy, clashing again before just spazzing, going hit for hit, looking like Drake versus Kendrick, but minus Drake. Until we see Jinwoo flip over Beru, who flips him before he somehow still gets sent flying right into a beautiful scene where the animators were just flexing the bag. Until we get up close, Beru still pressing Jinwoo, making him jump back, and this creature spawns in ice from out of nowhere like it's 2022 before he just slices through it, sending it all to Jinwoo, who goes running as it goes busting through the cave, giving us a location change. As Beru comes beaming at Jinwoo, clashing again into a screen full of lasers like it's a damn bank heist, until they both go free falling to the ground as Beru flexes his Sharingan and Jinwoo shows off the Tensei gun, and they both go clashing again into an insane light show. But bro, it gets crazier as they both go flying through the air, putting on a masterclass blue versus red like it's a gang war, until they come booming down, still going at it, putting on an absolute performance all the way till they end up face to face again. Like, bro, hold on, please, I can't take it. Except they keep going flying through the air till they come back down, each putting on GoPros, giving us front row 4K seats to cinema and for free, until Jinwoo throws his daggers and pops in locked before he starts tearing them guts up. Oh my lord, somebody call Violet. Until he catches the dagger, slicing up his face and hitting the ultra combo. Had him up here dancing, and that was enough as he gets pissed, coming down right on Jinwoo, got him down here stretched as he coughs back, going right for the eye, giving us a majestic ass frame of him face to face with death, meaning he got no choice but to level up as he mutilates Beru, making Ant Sushi, and then following up doing it again, making his second plate. And we find out this can regenerate before he spawns in mad ice, and at this point bro loses all shame as his ass goes running. But Jinwoo is on that ass. It is too late to run now, boy, as they fly into the cave where he's moving to the point Beru just stops like he done accepted his fate before looking up at Jinwoo, barreling towards him straight to the stomach and mutilating him again all the way into the ground. Like, oh my gosh, bro, what is this on? Who the fuck needs a story when I got this, bro? Look, as we go in to see Beru absolutely cooked, this looks pathetic. This is something that even if he somehow won, people still go look back like, bro, was this you? But now he go to his last resort, calling for backup like a bitch, which is the fight equivalent of filing for hood bankruptcy and selling the PS4. But we see this demon Jinwoo realizes this and lets out a menacing ass smirk. Bro already know he won before saying, go. Summoning in the squad that goes in demolishing the end. Bro even got Kaizen in here too, man. Them ants never stood a chance. And to add two more for y'all, the touch starts loading up and absolutely blasting, going through the ants in the cave, leaving nothing but Beru alone, face to face with his future home, as Jinwoo comes walking through the flames and right up to him, still looking as tough as ever. And if y'all look close enough, there's not even a speck of dirt on the crispy white teeth this really is different. And Beru seeing this regenerates just to turn around and dip. Even Jinwoo just staring at bro like,
boy, ain't no fucking way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy.
because running from the fade when you're the one that pulled up to fight is ludicrous. But then Jinwoo just grabs his ass with some telekinesis and slams him into the ground, putting him on his hands and knees, looking up to him like his bitch, before once again turning around and this time crawling away. Meaning that again, Jinwoo has to hawk his ass down, jumping up, loading in the daggers from his inventory, and coming down with another mutilation, cutting this thing up like a New Yorker in traffic, until we finally see that it's over. So Jinwoo goes running over to Cha when realizing they won't even have enough time to make it out of the cave. But luckily for him, he got the old reliable elixir of life that literally woke his mom up from eternal sleep. So it of course doesn't work. So what can he do now? And I guess proving to me that I'm a dumbass is what he decides, as he proceeds to extract Beyond Shadow, who then heals up Cha Hae-in with no problems whatsoever. Nice. But Bake, being his best friend, knows he wouldn't want to be used in battle anymore, cause even before this whole war he was done being on the front lines. And being a real nigga, Jinwoo decides it's time to let him go. Even though honestly, y'all could have just put bro in the hospital or something and let him be a doctor. But hey, ain't none of my business. And so after that, Jinwoo decides to stay behind and clear out all the eggs and ants that's still in the cave, and finally reaching level 100, which I honestly thought he would have been past by now. And he also gets a key to this temple, but nah, this can't be important. But he does that until he comes upon the fallen AntKing himself. And just like every other victim, you gonna have to come off that shadow, my boy. Except instead of the normal animation, we in a whole new world filled with darkness, like he in a genjutsu, until we're upside down and we turn around to whatever this is behind him, before we get the full Pokemon evolution and eventually even the rebirth of Beru, the first general of Jinwoo's army. And also, he can talk too. Bro just spawned in with the pre-order bonus. But that means now it's time to test bro out, as Jinwoo sends him off to handle the NPC ants that of course he does effortlessly, even still coloring in the sky, flexing for the huzz. And speaking of that, look at this man Jinwoo up here posted up on Kaisel, as the most glorious lighting imaginable comes in right on time. Bro's aura alone made the clouds separate. I ain't never seen nothing like this a day in my life. And speaking of aura, we go to somebody on a ship looking like Goldie Roger before he start charging crazy, then swinging his swords with that Zoro technique, letting off a fireworks show, and then eviscerating these random ants. Explosion was so crazy it was even pushing back the ships, as bro says Beru would have probably been more fun. Like, buddy, you should have came and fought him then. Wait till it's over to start talking crazy. Meanwhile, Japan was over there getting their whole squad one tap like Ruby Rose. Anyway though, Jinwoo goes to the memorial for everyone who got murked, where he meets Gun-E, and eventually he tells him he wants to start his own guild, which obviously we all know is gonna happen. Bro done rejected literally everybody else that asked. This was the only option left. But while they're doing that, we go back to the cave where this creature comes out of the shadows like he Batman, until someone snaps, putting all the soldiers to sleep. And this old blue man, looking like one of the elves from the beginning of the season, start talking like they know Jinwoo, as they question why he would be helping humans, and apparently he's always been in Alduin, adding like 3 layers of lore to the series with one conversation, before he proceeds to snap his fingers, spawning in a gate out of nowhere, and the beast looking one just swipes the air, making one too. So of course, they aren't gonna be relevant in the story at all. But someone who is Jinwoo's dad himself, who up here just posted up, still wearing that same crusty old jail fit. But after that, we see none other than Cha Hae-in herself, who finally woke up and immediately starts yapping about how she wants to get stronger and stand by Jinwoo. Yap. I don't want to hear all that. I could have did the same thing he did. And so in typical ending fashion, we see Jinwoo get called to help with one final gate. And of course, knowing him, he decides to go in solo. And also knowing him, it just happens to turn into a red gate, meaning there is no better time for him to pull out his absolute squad. Straight 99 overalls, looking like the dream team, who just goes plowing through everybody with literally no problems at all, leaving nothing else for Jinwoo to do but for one last time this season, farm that ore.
次の獲物はドイツだ。